All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. As usual, I'm your host, Mark Pierce. Hope you're doing all right today. It is Monday. Another great week here at the cave. We got a lot to cover this week. It's going to be a good one. What are we talking about today? Well, it is September 28th, is it not? Let's run down what happened today in history. 1968, the Beatles' Hey Jude hits number one, the beginning of a 9-week run at number one. Anyone not know that song out there? 1974, Bad Company's debut album, Bad Company, goes to number one. We talked about this band and this record already here in the cave. 1980, Don't Stand So Close to Me goes to number one in the United Kingdom. Epic Police song. What's not to like about that song, right? That's when my love affair with the Police started, around that time. 1991, the legendary Miles Davis dies. Birthdays today. Ed Sullivan was born on this date in 1902. Benny King was born on this date in 1938. Stand By Me, everyone knows that one. And last but not least, Moon Unit Zappa was born today in 1967. If you're my age, you remember around 1980, was it? A ship arriving too late to save a drowning witch. That album cover with just triangles on it that looks exactly like what we just said. But that song, Valley Girl, maybe it was a little later than 80. Maybe it was more like 82. That song, Valley Girl, was all over the place, and we had all of the kids mimicking a Valley Girl slang just from that song alone. Who remembers that, if you're my age? It's been a long time since I heard that song. Maybe I'll add that below, just a little bit of nostalgia. Anyway, Moon Unit Zappa. What are we talking about today? Well, I heard this song on the radio recently in the last couple of weeks, and it occurred to me that it's one of those songs that, for me, when it was out, it was played like all the time. And it wasn't a song that I would ever change the channel on, but it was also one that, it was fine. I liked it. It was fine. It was fine. But they played it a lot, so it was nice to have it kind of fade away. But now when I hear it, I say to myself, hey, I like this song. This is a good song. So I turn it up and I enjoy it. And it turns out this song is 25 years old, so we're going to really make people feel old today. But 7 Mary 3 put out their album September of 1995, 25 years ago. The album is called American Standard, and the song is Cumbersome. 7 Mary 3 put out 7 albums, it turns out, but this is the only one that they're really known for, I think, right? Where'd they get their name from? They formed in college. They were at the College of William and Mary, where they got their name from watching late 70s, early 80s episodes of the show Chips. I know I grew up on Channel 56 out of Boston and Channel 38 out of Boston. And we watched all of those episodes of Chips, particularly like the one where they couldn't figure out why cars were crashing on the highway. They were saying they were being blinded by a light, and it turns out at the end of the episode there was some construction going on up on the hill, and the vans were carrying either windows or mirrors on the side of their vehicles, and the sun would hit it just right and blind people, and they would crash and cause multiple pileups. But who is 7 Mary 3 in that show? Well, that is the call sign for John Baker, the guy, the Southern California cop, not Eric Estrada. Turns out his call sign is 7 Mary 3 whenever you would hear that on the radio. Just like the show Adam 12, when they would say 1 Adam 12, they would say 7 Mary 3, and the 7 is something to do with his basically like the number of the beat that they're on. The M stands for Mary. It stands for motorcycle, and 3 is his unit number. Anyway, 7 Mary 3, Chips. Who knew? They moved to Orlando, the rock and roll epicenter of 1995. We're going to Disneyland. And they had already put out a self-financed EP or record on their own. They basically re-recorded it once they were signed and added a couple new songs. That album was called Churn. and that was an independent release in '94. They re-recorded it and called it American Standard. It turns out Cumbersome was like a 6.5-minute song originally, and it was played locally on Orlando stations, and that's what got them their record deal. So they re-released that. That went to number 1 on the mainstream rock charts, went to number 39 on the Hot 100, and it remains their most well-known song. I like this song. I think it's a good way to start a Monday. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's one of those songs you don't even really think of. I don't think I would ever say, oh, I'm going to play 7 Mary 3. I'm going to play this song Cumbersome. That would never happen. But when you hear it, I think it's a good song. It's a good way to start your Monday. That's your song of the day. Looking forward to this week. We got a lot going on. Enjoy it. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.